From their humble beginnings to their attempts to dethrone the big players like Nvidia and AMD, this is a story of ambitions, perseverance, and let's face it, a few embarrassing moments. Stick around because whether you're a gamer, a tech nerd, or just someone who's curious, this ride is worth it. Let's hit play. Our journey begins in 1998 when Intel dropped the i740. And here's the specs. This card has a big goal, make 3D gaming mainstream. It connected to PC via cutting-edge AGP interface. It could handle classics like Quake 2, but let's be real, it struggled to hit playable frame rates beyond 480p resolutions. The i740 was like the Y2K panic overhype.
Let me tell you how the world ended. December 31st, 1999. Y2K.
Next came the Extreme Graphics series, a name that's about as ironic as calling dial-up internet lightning fast. Designed for basic tasks, the Extreme Graphics 2 that came out 2003 supported up to 128 megabytes of shared memory and DirectX 7. And here's the specs. For gaming, it handled Solitaire like a champ. But Doom 3? Not so much. The Extreme Graphics 2's 200 MHz core clock was the equivalent of showing up to a Formula 1 race with a scooter. If Extreme had speed limit, this GPU would still get a ticket for going too slow. By 2004, Intel decided to step things up with the GMA series. These GPUs added support for DirectX 9 and could borrow up to 224 megabytes of system memory. The GMA 950 even ran World of Warcraft at low settings, but don't expect it to win any beauty contest. By 2007, the GMA 3100 brought hardware vertex shading to the table. Still, it was more grandma's GPU than gamer's GPU. Playing Crysis on GMA was like trying to stream 4K video on dial-up. You'd end up questioning all your life choices. In 2010, Intel started to find its footing with the HD graphics series, paired with the Sandy Bridge processor. The Intel HD Graphic 3000 could actually run Counter-Strike Source at 720p. Fast forward to HD Graphic 520 in Skylake CPUs, and you're looking at 30 FPS in GTA 5 at 1080p. That's progress. The HD Graphic 520 featured 300 to 1050 MHz clock speed and 24 executions unit, making it Intel's first real attempt at casual gaming. These GPUs were like your first car. They've got the job done, but you'll never brag about them. Now we're talking. The Iris and Iris Pro GPUs introduced embedded DRAM, or eDRAM, for faster performance. The Iris Pro 580 with its 72 execution units and 128 megabytes of eDRAM could actually run modern games like Rocket League at 1080p with medium settings. It was the first time gamers started to take Intel GPUs seriously. With a 950 to 1150 MHz core clock and DirectX 12 support, the Iris Pro 580 proved Intel wasn't just playing around anymore. The Iris Pro was like that quiet kid in school who suddenly shows up at prom looking like a movie star.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
In 2017, Intel leveled up again with UHD graphics, designed for 4K video playback and casual gaming. The UHD Graphics 620, for example, supported DirectX 12 and OpenGL 4.5. It could handle Fortnite and League of Legends at 720p with decent frame rate, making it perfect for budget-conscious gamers. The UHD Graphics 620 clocked up to 1150 MHz with 24 executions units, proving Intel was finally catching up to the mainstream. UHD graphics was like the reliable friends who always says, "Hey, I'll help out," but leaves the heavy lifting to someone else. Finally, we arrive at Intel Xe, started with the Iris Xe Max, which boasted 96 execution units and 4GB of dedicated VRAM. Intel's GPUs could finally take on AAA games like Cyberpunk 2077. The Iris Xe Max delivers 2.5 teraflops of performance with up to 1650 MHz clock speed, putting Intel firmly in the gaming conversation. Intel Xe is like Rocky Balboa, always the underdog, but finally landing some knockouts punches. And now we arrive at the Arc series. This lineup was Intel's declaration of war against Nvidia and AMD. The Arc A770 came loaded with 16GB of GDDR6 VRAM and 32 ray tracing cores, making it capable of running modern AAA games like Call of Duty Warzone at 1080p with ray tracing enabled. Meanwhile, the Arc A750 offered a more budget-friendly option with competitive performance in titles like Elden Ring. But the newest additions, the Arc B580, is where things get really exciting. With 12GB of GDDR6 VRAM and 2048 shading units, the B580 offers performance on par with the Nvidia RTX 4060. The Intel Arc B580 delivers impressive performance in Cyberpunk with ray tracing enabled. At 1080p resolution, it achieves an average of 87 frames per second, surpassing the RTX 4060's 72 FPS, a notable 21% advantage for a more affordable GPU. When stepping up to 1440p, the B580 maintains strong performance with average 45 FPS with ray tracing enabled. This makes it a viable option for gamers who seek a high-quality visual without compromising playability. Overall, the Arc B580 offers a compelling balance between cost and performance, handling demanding titles like Cyberpunk 2077 with ray tracing at both 1080p and 1440p. From the humble beginnings to the game-changing Arc series, Intel's GPU journey has been wild. Whether you're here for the nostalgia or to see if Intel can dethrone Nvidia, one thing's clear. They are no longer just the CPU guys. The future is bright, and if Intel keeps this up, they might just take a chunk of the GPU pie. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And hey, if you've got an old Intel i740 lying around, maybe use it as a